guys, welcome back to Chasing Flavor. Today we got something a little bit different for you. Today we're going to be going over some of my gear, actually some of the stuff that you see me using in my videos. So we'll get right into it. My favorite thing to use is going to be my Lodge cast iron pan. This is a 12-inch right here. It said Lodge. I've had this for going on probably about a year now. This is something that I regularly re-season, keep clean. You know, cast iron, you don't have to do a deep cleaning. Just get all the crunchy stuff off, all the nasty off there. And then I always like to re-season it with a little bit of fat right afterwards. So we got the Lodge cast iron. That's the pan that I'm gonna use the most, unless I'm making like a deep sauce or a pasta or something like that. Obviously I'm gonna need a much deeper pan for that. But that's what I'm gonna cook most of my stuff in. You've seen the cutting board, obviously. This is huge. This is something you see a whole lot in my videos. This one is a customized one. This was given to me as a gift from Heather's dad and his wife. As you see, it is customized. It is branded with my initials right there. This cutting board actually came with the brand, which I have hanging up right here. So I have a little brand for my initials so I can brand meat or breads or anything that I want to brand right there. I haven't actually branded anything with it yet, so maybe we'll see about doing that in a video coming up in the future. So we talked about the cast iron, we got the cutting board. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the knives. This is one of my favorites right here. This is I believe an 8 or a 10-inch chef's knife. It is Damascus. If I get a little bit closer, you can probably see the pattern there. So it is a Damascus knife. This was actually a gift from Heather from around Christmas a few years ago. It came as a kit from mancrates.com, where the blade was finished, the tang was finished, and it came with the scales and then the mosaic pins that you see there. And it came with some basic hand tools and epoxy to actually be able to attach the scales and the pins there, and then you shape it yourself. I do have some other tools because I am doing some amateur knife making myself. So I have like a small belt sander and that kind of thing to make this a little bit easier to shape up. So this is one of my favorites to use, very sharp, very nice. Some of the other knives that you've seen have been from my Kangshan set. This was a gift for my birthday this year from my siblings. So this one right here is the 7-inch Nakiri. This is a very popular one. I love to use this knife. Very sharp, very easy to use. You know, Nakiris are kind of meant more for, I believe, vegetable chopping, but I use this for a lot of different things. The other one that you've seen has been the 11-inch slicer right here. This one, obviously, I've used this on the brisket. You know, anything that you're carving with, you're going to want to use this slicer. You know, prime rib. We haven't done any prime rib or anything like that, but you could really use that on there. They all came with these nice little sheaths, and then also a carrying case for them. There's a few other tools that came with that set that I have not used. Tongs, hugely important right here. I have a couple different lengths. They all have the silicone tips, silicone grips on the side, so that way they don't get too hot. But a couple different lengths, just to keep a whole lot of tongs around because we use that for a lot of our stuff. My new favorite spatula is my fish spatula. This was given to me as a birthday gift as well. This is one off of Amazon. I don't even know if there's a brand behind this or what, but I just love a good fish spatula because it's very, very flexible, very thin. It's got the slats on it. You can get right up underneath it. Works really well in conjunction with my cast iron. One that I don't think we've seen yet on the channel, but that I do use quite a bit is you know, my butcher knife right here, my butcher block. This one is one that I bought myself some years back off of Amazon. The brand is CBK. It actually stands for Chef Pro Knives. You know, it's not bad. It's not really like a heavy duty butcher's knife. If you look closely, I do have kind of a warp right there from where I was trying to break down a chicken, and I got into the knuckle and the knuckle kind of warped it there. It's still super sharp, works really well. I like it a lot. But that's my basic kit right there. I do have some other stuff that I use behind the scenes that you won't really see. One thing that I got recently is my instant read thermometer right here. Little IR, so you can see it. You scan it right there and it'll show you the temperature. I like that because that, again, I use in conjunction with the cast iron. Keeps me up to date on where the temperature is, because cast iron, most of the time I'm using that for hot, fast sear on my meat. So that's where that thermometer comes in. I have some whetstones that I use for sharpening my knives when I need that. But that's the basic kit right there. That's what you basically need to get started. I do have one other spatula that I really like, and that's going to be, I think this was described as like a lasagna server, right? See, it's very long, very wide, thin and flat. This is a really nice one. Heavy duty spatula. I like this one a lot, but it's kind of gotten rotated out once I got my fish spatula because I like this a lot more. It's a lot lighter weight, not too bad, easy to clean, that kind of thing. But that's the basic kit. That's what I use in most of my cooking. I do use a few other things, but that's the core right there, and that's what you need to get started. Is you need yourself a good hard cast iron pan, probably a 12-inch. I like 12-inch. It's a good size. I want a bigger one. I do have some smaller ones, but the 12-inch is what I use the most for cooking myself and Heather, so that's what we need right there. And then you need yourself probably 3 or 4 good sharp knives, tongs, spatula, good cutting board. That's the key right there. And so that's my basic kit. That's what I like to use, and we'll see you in the next video.